Hello and welcome to the Friday Night SmackDown review, and it is the SmackDown before John Cena's final match. And I'm going to say what every other wrestling YouTuber has said. I'm not ready, but we have to be, and that's the first thing I'm going to be talking about. Now, Cena or Gunther, neither of them were on the show, but they kept showing video package. They kept showing thank yous. They kept showing that Tom Rinaldi interview. They kept showing all this stuff. So I feel that I should talk about this match just a little bit. It's hustle, loyalty, and respect. The man who will never give up versus the man who says that he's going to make Cena give up and makes everybody else tap. It is a perfect John Cena storyline to go out on. But Cena ain't tapping. No way. Not in his final match. There is no chance they tap out John Cena. I think John Cena's gonna win. Maybe it's the childhood in me, but John Cena's winning his final match. I don't care how much they build up Gunther. Cena has to win. I think it's a lot of bias speaking, but I just had to give my prediction out there because I'd be a fool not to. But we're screaming from the rooftops, let's go Cena tomorrow night. But let's get into the actual SmackDown, which wasn't as good as my rant right there. That's gonna be what I'm the most excited about throughout this entire video, because SmackDown was kind of meh once again. It's just not good right now. We're supposed to be picking it up because of Royal Rumble, but no, it's just... next week, I hope next week is a better show. But before Cody actually comes to the ring, we have a video from Nick Aldis saying that he's trying to unsuspend Drew McIntyre, but he hasn't responded to any of the calls. So Nick Aldis also gets a piece of paper saying that Drew is not coming to work because it's an unsafe work environment or whatever. Cody crumbles up the piece of paper and then goes to the ring, and he basically just says that he wants Drew McIntyre. Nothing really important. But somebody who is important, it is Oba Femi. He's here, and and Cody hands him a microphone, and Oba Femi is main roster ready because obviously he is. He says that Cody, he's worried about the wrong man. He formally introduces himself as the ruler, the destroyer, the mountain you cannot climb, and the mountain you cannot conquer. And he says, to quote the great John Cena, Cody's time is up and his time is now. And Cody clapbacks. He's like, hey, that's a John Cena quote. But he holds up his championship and says, but I beat John Cena for this. And Cody, he always tries to get the last word. So he drops the mic, tries to walk away. Cody stops him. And both men hold up their belts. And, oh man, it's an exhibition match that means nothing. Yet it feels like it should mean everything. Because the ruler should win tomorrow night against Cody Rhodes. Now, do I think he's going to? I'm going to say yes. Because that's what I want to happen, and all of my predictions are what I want to happen tomorrow night. So I'm going with Oba Femi. I probably should have made a video about my predictions, but I didn't. But Oba Femi, he should definitely win tomorrow. He's so main roster ready. He just stood toe-to-toe with Cody. I know Cody didn't really say a whole lot, but, come on. Call Oba Femi up already. But let's go to the first match of the night. Tommaso Ciampa versus Ilya Dragunov for the United States Championship. And in my opinion, this was the best U.S. Open title match that Ilya has had since having the belt. I really believe that Ciampa had a chance to win a lot. Ilya got busted open after the top rope white noise. So DIY gets involved actually. Ciampa hits that knee. 1, 2, last second kick out. Ilya rolls up Ciampa, and he retains. So Ilya is still your champion. This was a fun mini feud. But DIY immediately attacks Ilya Dragunov after the match. But very quickly, comes out. Carmelo Hayes makes the save. He completely turns babyface because he helps up Ilya Dragunov, and they kind of like stare down, and Melo's kind of like, hey, like, I got you. So overall, my takeaways from this segment is this was a fun little mini feud, but I'm ready for Ilya to kind of like move on a little bit. Babyface Melo is here, and I think that means that he should dethrone Ilya Dragunov. I don't know how soon. I mean, you could probably even push it to Mania at this point, but Melo should win the U.S. title. That's my opinion. Let's go backstage to Javon Evans, but he gets quickly interrupted by The Miz, who gets very mad because he's not on the John Cena card. And they actually end up setting up a match later. Javon Evans versus The Miz will happen later in the night. Javon Evans calls Miz Unk, and then when Miz is walking away, he goes, "Oh, well, see you out there, nephew," or something. It was kind of stupid, but whatever. It was fun. But then we go to the Wyatts, and I don't like Uncle Howdy's cadence when he talks, by the way. This is kind of a random... I'm not like... I liked Solo's promo way more than this one from last week, but like it sounds like Uncle Howdy, he's saying nothing, but he's trying to speak in riddles, and who knows what he's saying. But what I did get from it is he asked Solo like who he is to question family, which was a very good point, because he turned on his family and everything, but now he has the MFT, so it's kind of like, so that was a good point. And then he says that if the MFT want the belts, just to come get them. And then the MFT music plays, but they're just virtually. They say that they're not answering on the Wyatt's time, but next week they're challenging for the tag titles. So we're getting some progression here. Still think that this is the direction towards Mania. I think that they're going to end up having like a triple threat tag match and get the tag belts off of both of these teams somehow. I don't know what team would dethrone them, but I see this kind of being like a 4-on-4, 5-on-5 type thing. I don't know who would join the Wyatts, but it's not important right now. That's not my job to book that. Let's go to Alexa versus Lash Legend. Now I have to admit I didn't really watch this match too much. I don't really have a lot of notes, at least. I know Charlotte and Nia got involved a little bit, and Lash Legend gets a huge win from, what do they call it? The Lash extension. I think that's what her finisher is called. My takeaways, the first one I have is, oh my god, how did they make Lash's theme song even worse than it was at Survivor Series? I mean, it literally starts out with Lash Legend. Like, dude, we know who's coming out. But I don't know. But overall, the theme doesn't matter. But it's a huge win for Lash. She beats a former 5-time women's champion, they said. And once again, this is just building the women's tag division. We had stuff backstage with Lash and Nia. Lash, Nia, and Rhea. And we had stuff with Rhea and Alexa and Charlotte. So you're just building up the women's tag division. And I'm totally down for this. Once again, 5-team or 6-team TLC. That's all I need. But let's go to Javon Evans versus The Miz. This match was fun. Miz is super underrated. But my one question that I was thinking about during this match was, why was Cole trying to diminish Javon so much? Talking about his crazy style and does that lead to longevity? And sometimes he can be over eager. I don't know what that was all about. Why are we hating on Javon Evans? It's such an unhateable person to try to be hating on Michael Cole, so I got a little annoyed. But it was fun. The Miz would jump and then be like, see, I'm bouncy too. It was funny. But Javon Evans does hit an OG cutter for the win. It's a big win for Javon. I really can't wait for Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus AJ Lee tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event. So I'm excited for that. The Miz is super underrated. I really think he deserves more love for putting all these people over. And just like everybody else on the Saturday night's main event card, Javon Evans is main event ready, or main roster ready. I mean, you could literally say that about all the NXT people that are on the card, but especially with Javon and Oba and Sol Ruka. So that's literally everybody. But man, I can't wait for Saturday night's main event. It's bittersweet, but I'm still excited for it. So the next match we're supposed to have is Jade Cargill versus Michin, but I put this screenshot up because you kind of have Rhea Ripley standing right there, so it's kind of like Rhea versus Jade maybe at Mania. That's pretty cool. Michin is about to come out to her match, but she gets blindsided by Jade Cargill, throws her all over the place, and Jade goes out to the ring, and she says, anybody can step up and get stepped on because she's that bit. But Michin is coming out with a kendo stick, completely unloads on Jade, but Jade just lays her out with a choke slam eventually. My takeaways from this are, is Jade Cargill just going to be like... Jade Cargill, she just comes out every week and says, whoever steps up, I'm going to beat up. And then she does it. Because she's that bitch. Whatever, Let's get to the main event. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega versus Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Now, this match is only 10 minutes, and I wish that they had more time, but they did pretty good with the 10 minutes. It was a pretty good match. There was only one little, Code Red type thing, which would have been a really cool reversal. I want them to try that again, because I think that they can hit it, because it was pretty close. But Zelina just picks up Rhea again and hits Code Red. 1, 2, Rhea kicks out. Kind of thought it might have been over there, but they brawl a little bit more. They hit double Razor's Edge, and then Rhea hits a nasty Riptide. She put a little extra on that Riptide, but for the 1, 2, 3, Terror Twins win. And my question is why? Not trying to hate on everything. It's just I question a lot of the booking here, because why? I mean, you just brought together Zelina Vega and Aleister Black, and then you just feed them to Rhea Ripley basically. And I hope that this Damian Priest, Aleister Black stuff is over. And I really think that this didn't do anything good for anyone involved. Overall, this SmackDown was pretty meh, in my opinion. I loved the Oba Cody thing. I loved all the tributes to Cena. I like how great they're making Jade look. I just think that she should do a little bit more. I loved Ilya and Ciampa. That was a great match. Maybe TV match of the year. We have the Manatee Awards coming up pretty soon, towards the end of the year, the first ever edition of those. So make sure to check out that video when that comes out in a few weeks, and then make sure you subscribe, like this video, and for right now, that's it.